He didn't flinch, and he ministered to them. He eventually died. He was killed on that flight deck.
The priest did.
Yes. But, and then after that, that was the story. And then, of course, Mother was divorced, and it was years before the church would even acknowledge that they were married. You weren't married. And it took years for him to get baptized. And in the last days with him in the hospital, the priest came and gave him the last rites. He had already had a baptism. He was able to get that. I don't remember under what circumstances. But that's what he always wanted to do after that.
What ship was he on?
The Hornet, USS Hornet, the Gray Ghost. And that's why I'd like for you and Bobby to go so you can take him through that naval end of it, which was so cool.
What did he do on the ship?
He was a baker's, baker first class. He ran all the baking goods and stuff like that. And when he got out, he was such a salesman out of service, but we always kept questioning, why didn't you go into that? He said, I was really tired of it. I wanted to do something different. Of course, he was great at it. He was just great at it. The things he did, and the things he didn't have to do, and the things he did for people that were on his route that he went to, because, he'd go in their house at 3 o'clock in the morning, have the door keys, he'd go in, do his thing in the kitchen, and, give them all their little notes that they left, and give them all of his little needs and stuff. And then he got to know them all on a personal basis. And then I can't remember who I was telling about the alligator skin. Was that you?
I don't remember.
Okay, well, he took people under his wing, like the Sanchez family. Darlene asked me about them the other day.
Oh, you were telling Art.
Huh?
You were telling Art.
Yeah, and I was telling Art, and Darlene asked me about them. Oh, do you remember the Sanchez family? Oh, yeah. Well, she had about 8 kids. And I don't know how long they'd been in the States. I don't know. It could have been a long time, short time, whatever. But very poor. So he'd always make, I'd say, monthly trips over there. And he'd take them food. He'd take them clothing. In cash, which at the time they struggled for, it didn't pay a lot, but the job back then that he had was a well-paying job for what he did. And, he was always there for them. Anybody that was in need. And it didn't matter because, the next class of people that he serviced on his route the next day was like Highland Park. And there was a family there that their child had some kind of disease where when you looked at him, his body was covered, he looked like a lizard. I'd never seen anything before or since that child looked like. And I don't know what he did because I never went in but one time. And because I rode with him so much. I was so